Hello friends, I am Jyotilal. Once again, welcome back to my chess vlog. Today, I have a new topic, pawn chains. Let me start here with a model game played between Alexander Belyavsky and Medina Garcia. The game started with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6, bishop a4, the Ruy Lopez. d6, c3, bishop d7, d4, g6, bishop e3, bishop g7, knight bd2, queen e7, d5, knight b8, c4. Well, here we can say we have got the position of our interest. Slightly, it's not completely a pawn chain, yet we can start thinking about the pawn chain. White is slightly better thanks to his space advantage in the center. Black played here knight f6. So we can see a partially blocked center and a small pawn chain. It is essential to understand the mode of play with the pawn chain before composing a plan. So how do we decipher a pawn chain? Let's start with the direction of the pawn chain. For example, the black's pawn chain. Here, the black's pawn chain starts from the c7 square and is going to the e5 square. That means the direction of the pawn chain is from the queen side to the king side. So black should rather play on the king side because the direction is towards the king side. That's very easy to understand. Now the next point to understand here, how should you initiate an attack or play? So it is very simple. Look at the pawn chain, your pawn chain, and look at the tip of the pawn chain. Here in this case, the e5 pawn is the tip of your pawn chain. You have to always play against the pawn that is opposing the tip of your pawn chain. So in this case, the e4 pawn. So usually black thinks about playing f5 at some point. I mean, he is playing against the pawn that is opposing the tip of the pawn chain. Now for white, his pawn chain usually it's you can see the small pawn chain here, and the tip is the one on d5. So how should he play? He should attack the pawn that is opposing the tip of his pawn chain. So black's d6 pawn is the one that is opposing the tip of white's pawn chain. So white should rather prepare playing c5. So the game continued here with white playing c5 completely in accordance with the principles of pawn chain. Black castled and rook c1, white mounting pressure on the queen side because that is where he has got more space. Bishop into a4, queen takes a4, knight b d7, and white immediately played c6. Seized the opportunity here to expand more on the queen side. Now black is saddled with a weak pawn on c7. Black played a rook of b8 and white took the pawn, and exchange of pawns taking place here. White castle here. So now we understand that the pawn chains clearly demonstrated the mode of play. White playing on the queen side. In fact, black failed to start anything on the king side where he has got some space advantage. So black's counterplay, as you can see here, the rook has already into the white's territory, but it is likely to be pushed back because black has got limited space or little space on the queen side. White has got enormous space and his pieces are towards the queen side. So after castling, black played queen d8, white played rook c6 here, attacking the d6 pawn. So after rook c6, knight b8, rook came back to c3. A better move would have been knight going to c4. However, rook c3 is not bad. Bishop f8. Now we see the strength of white's play on the queen side, where he is enjoying a lot of space. The threat is rook c8, knight b d7, knight b3, knight c5. The rook is almost in a cage. To rescue this rook, the knight was played on to c5, knight into c5, pawn takes c5. Now bishop takes c5. So after careful play, white has won a pawn on the queen side. Now queen b6. So h3, rook d8, knight takes e5, rook b4, queen c6. Now knight into e4 takes on e4, rook 5 c2. After rook 5 c2, it is rook b1. So black threatens to win with rook into c1, rook into c1, queen into f2. However, it is simply avoided by king h2, queen b8, rook takes b1 this time, queen takes b1, a simple tactic, knight f7. If he captures on f7, queen e6 followed by queen e4, white gets a couple of pawns extra. So here queen b8 was played, g3, finding no real chances, black resigned here. So this is the game where we have seen pawn chains and the strength of the space advantage provided by the pawn chain. Basically, when you play with the pawn chain, the most important thing is to find out the direction of the pawn chain, that is the starting point to the ending point, and then the mode of attack. As I demonstrated earlier, you have to play against the pawn that is opposing the tip of your pawn chain. Usually pawn chains occur in various openings. There are two main pawn chains, e5 pawn chain and d5 pawn chain, but basically the concept is more or less same. So we have demonstrated the pawn chain, the d5 pawn chain in this game. We will be playing another example very soon in the next video, examining the other side of the pawn chain. So till then, bye.